Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is Force here with some more World of Warcraft discussion. I did it! Or should I say we did it? A group of randomly assorted heroes, a pickup group, as it were, has defeated the final boss in Highmaul, just on normal mode. And I know it's not that much of an accomplishment, but let me tell you, the fact that this is just some haphazardly tossed together group, with the exception of I think 4 people that I started the group with knowing, so myself and 3 others. The rest of this group was just slapped together through various means, and we did it. And it was so satisfying. So this afternoon, if you couldn't tell by yet, I've cleared Highmaul. We've cleared the normal difficulty. I've talked about in the past how I've done a couple of bosses with Heroic, but at this point I think that I feel pretty darn confident with all of the boss fights, all of their mechanics, and sort of guiding a group through, guiding a group of people who know what they're doing, who aren't messing up. I feel like I can do this, and I feel like I'm going to push through Heroic. I think I'm actually, so I'm excited for that, but let's talk about this update video. So this afternoon, I got a group together. There was a couple of people that I actually ended up picking up through Open Raid. I put up a post the other day, I put up a Twitter thing, and not a lot of people responded, unfortunately. I think largely because, number 1, it was very short notice, number 2, I did it very late at night. And people are either working during the day mostly, or they just, you can't tell someone 12 hours before raid, hey, you available? Hey, are you able to do this? So we did have a couple of people that I knew, but a good portion of this raid group we picked up through the group finder. And it was so amazing to, now that myself and a couple of other people really know the fights, and I think that as time goes on, more and more randoms that you pick up will have done them enough so that they're familiar with it. We actually one-shot the first 6 bosses in Highmaul. And this is amazing to me because it is fairly challenging. Like, again, I talked about this in my last World of Warcraft rating video that I put up last week. If you're not paying attention, if anyone in your group is not paying attention pretty much on any of the fights, it can cause a wipe. Some are easier than others. I would say specifically the first fight in Highmaul is incredibly easy. I would say the twins are also very easy. But the other fights, a little bit of error is gonna cause big problems. So yeah, we had this group. It's just a bunch of people, just like, hey guys, I put this up in the group finder. I said, look, know what you're doing, have the gear, and just we're gonna do a fast clear. I said right at the start, I said we're gonna do a fast clear. You gotta put your game face on. You gotta make sure you're serious, and it freaking delivered. This is something that honestly, I still can't believe it happened. I cannot believe that I know it's normal mode, so you're gonna say, Force, it's super easy, it's no big deal. But man, I spent the past 2 weeks. It was a big deal. It was a big deal, but we one-shot the first 6 bosses, and then we hit a roadblock. We got up to the last boss, and our core group that we had for the first 6 bosses, 1 member left. And then so we tried to find a replacement. The replacement came, we played with him, he wasn't that good. And then 2 other people left because they said this guy's, is causing us to wipe. And then that was just the cycle. It was the cycle over and over again. Further clarifying to me the need to try to get a core group together. Be it a guild or just a group of players who says, hey, we're all getting together every week at this time and we're raiding. So that constant in and out, that constant having to find new people, someone has to go to the bathroom, someone's got to go pick up their grandma, someone has to wash the dishes, someone's dog peed on the carpet. Like, there's always this new thing coming up constantly. And that's the thing that I feel like you're going to deal with a lot less. I remember dealing with a lot less, even when I was doing 40-man raids, which, boy, oh boy, trying to coordinate 40 people together for several hours. If we could do it then, I feel like I can do it now. But the point is that I'm just stoked that this actually happened, and I'm reveling in this moment. I guess that's all this video is. It's a big humble brag. And the funniest part is it's not even, it's normal mode. It's normal Highmaul. Like, a good chunk of people have done this. There's a lot of people, a lot of you listening to this have probably done this. But once more, the reason I'm so excited about this is because, number 1, it wasn't a steady group. It was a pickup group. And number 2, after my experience for the past 2 weeks and knowing how difficult normal can be, to one-shot clear the first 6, and we struggled, on the last boss. We certainly did. The first 6 bosses was a total of like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. And then the last boss dragged out for about another 2 hours. And the biggest thing, though, was a lot of that time was just waiting for other people. So, man, oh man, it finally happened, though. We met sweet success. We had a lot of struggles working up to the second phase. And, the third phase is what first initially started causing us issues. We were wiping when those ads were dealing too much damage to our group. We had a lot of people with problems with people running into mines, with people not bouncing that debuff around. We had some problems. We just had some problems. But we got it together at the end. And it was sort of patchwork. It wasn't exactly the smoothest. It was kind of, we got to the end and we're like, there's like a bunch of people dead. I ended up dying in like the last 30 seconds. The second tank picks the boss up. We got a couple of people still alive. They're pushing through, they're DPSing the boss, and he goes down, and we get those sweet achievements. And I didn't even get any loot, but you know what? I didn't care. Because the just joy of progressing through a difficult challenge, like I said last week, is so fantastic. And once more, for the second week in a row now, I am invigorated in this process of progression. And I've talked about, before, and many people talk about, wow, so easy, wow, so easy. WoW is certainly much, much, much different nowadays than it was back in Vanilla and the Burning Crusade, and even in Wrath of the Lich King. It is certainly much more of a different game. But even this normal difficulty posed a challenge to overcome. Heroic will pose another, and Mythic yet another. And then sometime next year, I actually don't know, it might be already set, but sometime next year, we're going to have the next raid that's coming up. I believe it's supposed to be early in the year, like January, February. I could be wrong, though. Someone in the comments will correct. There's probably a date out there. I'm just not knowledgeable on that topic. This sense of accomplishment is sort of what I felt back in the day. And it's just exciting that it's back. And this isn't something that couldn't have been accomplished in past expansions. I just never got into it. This isn't a judgment call as to this expansion compared to the last two when it comes to the rating and the progression. Because I probably could have had this exact same experience, but I didn't. And this is the expansion that I have had it with. And it's my damn channel, so I just feel like sharing this with you. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy that. And what I want you guys to take from this video is I want this to be a discussion point for you. I want to know, how is rating in Warlords of Draenor going for you? Do you have a steady, consistent group? Are you doing pickup groups? And how has that been? I think that's what I'm most interested in hearing. I'm most interested in hearing the experience of other people who are in pickup groups. Because when you have the same people week after week, even if they're dumb, they're going to learn eventually, right? But always having to reteach people who are coming in, that's where it becomes a real challenge. And I felt overall we were fairly successful with that this afternoon. And I'd like to know how your experience has been with it as well. Pugging Highmaul, I did it. Can you... I can't even imagine. Are people going to pug Mythic? Is this going to be a thing eventually? I guess we'll find out. I'll give you an update a month from now. Thank you so much for watching, though, this video talking about my progression in Pug Highmaul. Let me know about your progression in Highmaul as well, Pug or otherwise. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great gaming coverage here on the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow. Keep watching and keep owning.